Now that we've got the top sorted, I'm going to focus on including some external content or some articles into the template. So for articles, we have different formats that you can use. I'm going with the 2-column one today. However, you can have a play around with large, medium, small. They all act the same way in the sense that you're adding content the same way. The first thing I'm going to do is create an article. And this is going to be something that I've found online. So I've just done a quick little bit of research, and I want to include something that's a little bit more passive than just property information, because I'm trying to build a newsletter that's going out to my entire database. So a large portion of those people aren't looking to buy or sell right now, and I want to give them some content that's that they'll find interesting or might find interesting, rather than just properties and listings and here's all the information about the market right now. So I've just found a quick one here, just about homewares, so it's a little bit more of a lifestyle article. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the title. I'm just going to use the description, like the first paragraph as the description. Copy the URL. And then I'm going to grab the image as well. So to grab an image from here, you can just right click on it, copy image address, click on the image to change it, and paste that one in there. I can also change this URL text, so if we leave it blank, which I'll do for this one, it will just say click here for more information. So if a subscriber clicks on it, it will take them through to that article we were just on. I could change it though, so say if I want to edit this, and let's just say I want to change this one to read more. After this, what I might want to do is I want to include now more of a finance piece, so something about home investment or something like that. So there's a couple of ways I can do that. I can either go online similar to what I did before and do a bit of research, or if I hit choose, our iRealty library will come up here. So these are all different articles that we find online based on certain things. We do have like automatic feeds set up as well, so there is some kind of niche content or some article strange stories on there from like local newspapers we've had set up. If there is a piece of content that you, or a source of content that you would want us to link up to this, let us know. We might not be able to link up with it, and we can always check that for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this article here about the market, hit import, and rather than me having to go in and find content based around this, it will compile that all around and give me like a title, description, and URL. Sometimes it won't be able to find an image. Lucky here, we were. So there we go. So we've got 2 articles in there. What I might want to do as well is you can include something like a PDF. So say for example, you guys have put in a bit of work and you want to you've done a bit of work and you've compiled suburb reports for like a certain region or area and you want to promote that, you can do that and add it as a PDF. So that's, again, I'm going to hit create. I'm just going to grab an image of a property that I've uploaded in the past. And then the title will be suburb report, but you could name it the suburb and what's going on. And then from here I'll go check out how this in the current market. Perfect. So from here, you'll notice there's a little blue folder. So in this blue folder, I can upload files using this green plus button and grab the PDF. And then you can see here, the suburb report appears there. Hit use and we'll create a URL for you. Something to note, any link in this email, no matter if I include it here, on here, in the property section below, or on these buttons, we'll be able to track. So including suburb reports and more research pieces, really handy because we'll be able to actually tell you who's engaging with that, give you a list, and you can get in touch with them and have a conversation. Obviously, we don't want you to say, hey, I see you click on my email here, here, and here, but it's more, it gives you more of a quality list of people to call. Also, especially for suburb reports, it gives you a better way to maybe steer that conversation. So, for example, we're based in Northgate, so if someone clicks on the Northgate one and give them a call, I could I could just mention, hey, Northgate's had some really good results. We've had a few suburb records, or the market's really growing here. Would you be interested in a free market report or an obligation-free appraisal or something like that? So we're just trying to show you who's researching that. So including that content is really helpful for providing, obviously, the subscriber information, but more for you guys to be able to find those subscribers who want that information. As we're using a 2-column article, I would always recommend having even numbers. So I'm just going to add out another one. And we also have these tagged articles here. So these are articles that our marketing team find and tag. So I'm going to choose the properties only one. And again, similar to before, it's going to try and find an image and all of that in there. So if you are lacking content or haven't been able to find anything, I do recommend checking out this library. Speed up the amount of time you spend researching your content and all that. Again, if I wanted to have this displayed in a medium or a large section, you have all the abilities to do that. They just all appear here, but adding this content is the same way. If I wanted to change how any of this looks, for example, I wanted to make the heading this light blue color, you'll notice now that's changed it there. So you can go through and change things, fonts, colors, size, and weights for everything. I won't go into that too much anymore because I've had this already set up, but have a play around with that so you can make it look exactly how you want it to look. You would have also noticed this little add article symbol appears as you're kind of using it. This won't appear once you hit preview or once the email's sent. So it's just letting you know you can add more content in there. So after the article sections, we have our first property section. So for a newsletter, I would recommend not having any more than 2 of these large properties. And then we also have different sections that you can use. So similar to the articles, adding the content's the same between these. It's just more about how it's going to be viewed. So for this one, I want to have a feature listing. And then in the property section down here, I want to have my recent sales. Again, have a play around, work out what you want to use. But for this one, that's the method I'm going to have. So first thing I like to do is to use one of the title sections. If you need to add one of these in, they just appear in here. So the reason we have that is I want to kind of describe what's going on for the properties below. So for this one, I just want to call this feature listing. So again, I can change style, make that bold, upgrade the size, but I'm happy with how it looks now. Now, to add a property, there's 2 methods. I can either hit create and build it from scratch, add my images, titles, descriptions, fonts, suburbs, all of that. However, 90% of the time you should be using this choose property option. We get your properties from your CRM, so we'll have all that information feeding through daily, so it should be up to date. So what I'm going to do is I want to make Waratah Street my new listing or my property or feature property. Now, because I can see it has an open time, I'm going to change this image overlay to open. So there's a few different ones in here. There's open, sold, auctions, and that kind of thing. They're really small changes that just describe what's kind of going on. So if I hit open on this one, hit import, it's going to grab all the details that we have, and it's just going to add a little notification down here. Hey, these are the open times below. Just be wary if you notice there's anything that's incorrect in here. One, you can edit it here, but if you notice it's something like a spelling error or something like that, check in your CRM first, because we receive it the same way other sources do, so it may be incorrectly spelled on there as well. But for example, I can also change the image, so I want to have just interior images, so I want to change this one, see your property, and I can go in here and change it, so if I wanted to include something like the outdoor area there. Hit save, and you'll notice this image down here changes, so you can actually alter these as well. I can add multiple properties into this. However, if I want it to be a different heading, I will have to drag in a different heading and a different property section because I can't split that. And I'll show you how that kind of works more down here when we're adding more than one property. So as I kind of discussed, now I want to add my recent sales in here. So we're adding this title in, and then now we'll add the properties that we want to include. I'm using the 3-column one, so again, different formats. We're just going through the same process. Hit choose, and by default, this menu will display all the current properties I have in the account. So what I want to do now is change this to sold, because I want to go through my recent sales, turn off current, and I can go through and choose these ones. So I'm just going to choose 6 because it's a 3-column property. Now I hit sold, so all that's going to do is put a little sold notification on it. Nothing special, it's just something to make it stand out saying, hey, these are our sold properties. There we go. So what I can do now, so if I wanted to split these sections up, I couldn't do it currently because I can't put a title into one section, you'll notice here. But if I wanted to have another 3-column section, I can do. All I would do is add a title in, and then I could add another 3-column. And pop that in there. So we can have multiple versions of a section, but I can't split one. So over here, let's just say I want to put my rentals in there. Perfect. If you want to remove a property out, all you do is hit the X symbol above the property and that will take it out of the section. Just be wary when I hover over this. If I want to remove a whole section, if I hit the top X there, that will remove that whole section out of the template. So for example, we have these recent sales in there, but we're not happy with how they look. So I want to just include 4 properties that are for sale and I want to use a different section. What you can do first, again, is add that title. It will save the last one you've had, so let's just change this to recent sales again. And let's just say what we could do is I could delete all these properties out of the section and re-upload them. However, there is an easier way that you can do that. So what I'll do is I'll grab the section that I now want to use, pop that into the template, and then from here I'm going to move those recent sales ones across to this one. So again, I could delete them and re-upload them here, but if I hit this manage property down here, I can actually add in properties here. So for example, I just want these 4 to go across. And I want to delete these ones. Sorry, I have to move this one to here. So I've just moved those 4 properties across now. So now when I hit Save Changes, you'll notice in the 3-column section, there'll be no properties in here, and the 4 ones that I've kept now appear in the medium section. So then all I do is just remove these from the template. Now, as I kind of mentioned, I don't want to include too many listings in this email. People view these on their phones, they don't want to scroll a lot, they want to kind of have as much information as possible. So what I've done here is I've added a couple of articles because I want to still give my subscribers access to those listings. I just don't want to include them in one piece of content. So what I can do here is if I hit create, I'm just going to grab an image of one of the properties that I've used. Let's grab this one here. So what I can do, we have landing pages built for you. So I'm going to call this one current listings. And then make the description. All of our homes on offer or something like that. And then in this URL, if I click this folder, you would have noticed before these links appear. If I choose all properties, this will then be a link to all the listings that are in the account. I can also do that for new listings in an inspection list, and I can do it just sold. So it's just a good way of giving the subscribers access to that information without them having to be included in the template itself. So now if I hit add, you'll notice that makes that article here. So I'm just going to quickly jump off and I'm going to add a just sold version as well.